Hello everyone, this is Hazbin Angel and welcome back to my channel. Sorry about last week, I just was feeling really drained last week, so I did not have the energy to do any art or videos. But I'm doing better now. If weeks like that keep happening, I'm gonna turn it down to 2 videos a week for a bit, just so I can get a good backlog, because I still haven't developed that yet because I haven't had time. Alright. This is sort of explaining this video. I'm doing my fan character for Hazbin Hotel Fia again, because I'm always redesigning characters and updating them, and all my characters started out as Mary Shih Tzus, because Mary Tzus are fun for me to create. So any of mine, I start as a Mary Sue and then I'll work my way for them to be like a logical character most of the time. Sometimes I keep them a Mary Sue just because I know I'm never going to make an actual like story or anything out of it, and it's just from my imagination to have fun. Like my character Tranquility or Kasagi, she is a Mary Sue because it's fun to imagine yourself as a Mary Sue sometimes. So if I do make Mary Sue's that stay Mary Sue's, they're usually self-inserts that I will never end up using in a story, but I'll also be like, I need to use her for a story. But I never will. Or will be in the far future. So I am working on Fia again. These things have changed, because I wrote a fic called The Radio Demon Stowe. Say that 5 times fast. And it's basically how I could logically see Alistair, and it was more for me to write Alistair's character, could see him falling in it, and part of me realized that, like, with the type of person he is, the only way he would fall in love or anything like love, or he perceived as love, is, for me at least, he would have to grow up with the girl or guy, depending on what you... I think if he's any type of romantic, he is, like, demi-romantic. Anyways, so it kind of solidified some of like the past things for her, but after writing and finishing the story, I had decided, because I still had kept her very much as a Mary Sue. It didn't entirely go, because the original concept of the story is, in the story, Alistair's actually half demon, biologically, like his father is like immune from hell. Sorry, my puppy won't. One known as Furfur or Bran, and he is a deer demon that has power over weather and married couples, and if you don't catch him in a pentagram, he always lies. The amount of research I do for fics is outstanding. But also gave a non-voodoo reason for his powers, because I actually did research on voodoo so that I didn't completely misrepresent it. And they do not look like Hollywood says. Anyways, so while writing it, I realized the only way I figured Alistair would fall in love someday is if he had known them the entire life, and he had already, if he had mentally thought of them as his property. Like, I don't think he could meet any random, like, girl or friend off the street, because when he's adult, he'd be too picky and find out too many flaws, because he is that asshole. Love him, but he is that asshole. No, he would constantly have this idea of perfection no girl would be able to reach up to. Anyways, so a lot of the stuff about it was just, oh, she used to be his childhood friend, or else he would just see her as a fan. And then I was just like, okay, well, how can I keep her personality, because I still want her to have a sweet personality, because even if it's an OC, it's not self-absorbed, it is self-indulgent, which is why she is an accent, because she's Irish, and I give her an Irish accent. And I just find green eyes and curly red hair pretty, so that's why she has those. So, I thought about what quality could I use so she could keep her personality, but eventually end up in hell. And it came up with the best thing, because this actually was an ending I was debating on in the Radio Demon Stove, of having her be Alistair's killer on accident. And so I started this because I thought, oh, what if she was a police officer? Because originally she was going to be a detective he saw, and he kept seeing her smile, and he was curious about it, and a relationship developed. But, now their childhood is basically two kids who spent all their time together because they were both social outcasts, which is one of the reasons I made her Irish, is because Irish was one of those social outcasts at the time. And eventually, she grew up to become a cop. I'm gonna do like a large relationship thing about theirs, and I'm working on the arc for that. She becomes a cop. She accidentally, while hunting him down, because she's the lead detective on the case, because like women cops weren't common, nor did they do much murder stuff, but they still did it, and it's my fanfic, so basically she is hunting him down through the forest, but she doesn't believe in killing. She thinks people should answer for their crimes, so she actually aims lower so he'd just be injured, but Alistair managed to trip, and that's how he gets shot in the head, because I believe he died to a gun wound. Just because of the X on his forehead. You know, it's a dog-related incident, but this is much more dramatic, and like, we don't know if that's like for sure, because Viv just said that his fear dogs had something to do with this death. So I imagine she had police dogs helping her hunt. And she's been loyal to him her entire life. He's her best friend, even if at this point they didn't have any romantic relationship. She still would, if he was in trouble like they thought was him, she would give him an alibi, even if he didn't really have one, because she did not want her best friend to be put away, and she figured the city was out to get him just because he was a mixed race dude. But after, because she knows while she's running, the person she's chasing is definitely, I call him the cannibal killer in my fic, but I've seen other names for him, but I'm going to refer to his like killing as the cannibal killer from Fia's point of view. Fia knows him. Whoever she's chasing is the cannibal killer. When she walks over to the body, already shaken that she's killed a man, and sees that's Alistair, her best friend, something in her snaps, and she takes the knife. The evidence that proves it. So she can easily say, the person I was following was terrified because he was a black man and I had a gun. So she grabs the knife, hides it, and then to further hide that it was Alistair committing these crimes, she becomes a copycat killer. All to make sure that his work in the radio industry doesn't go to waste just because she found out something she wasn't supposed to. And that's what lands her in hell, rather than Alistair just stealing her soul and dragging her down with him, which also is muy bien. So, yeah. She goes from this innocent girl that even Alistair tried to hide some of his crimes for because he adored her. She was his. He didn't really see her as an individual person. She was an extension of him. He was very possessive over her, so he made sure she was very emotionally dependent on him. So when she loses him, she loses the part of her that can rationally, because they have an unhealthy relationship. There's no way Alistair would have a healthy relationship. Sorry, boys and girls. So she does whatever she can to save his good name, even if it means becoming the killer herself. And if she's not worried about being caught, she tries not to get caught. She doesn't worry about getting caught. She actually ends up stopping killing after a while, after it just becomes too hard for her as she gets older. And so the killings just at some point slow down and stop. And she actually lives for quite a long time. Like, I don't have a set date or year for her death, but I know it's in the, like, 2000s, in, like, the aughts, or the 2020. Is she either dies of old age, or I want her to die of the coronavirus, because, I don't know. I just like that her, like, ultimate punishment on Earth is having to live this long life. But anyways, when she lands in Hell, I adjusted her design. It still takes very much color from her, but instead of immediately, like, running into Alistair, I like the irony of her ending up with Vox and the other Rees for a bit, and then just seeing this demon that looks similar to the radio demon. Like, she's a deer demon, obviously. And also, I was just like, she's gonna live through, like, phones and cell phones, and I was just like, what powers can I give her? Because if she's done about as much killing as Alistair, and obviously she's done all this, she's going to have similar, because she was born at a similar time, had a similar sin, did similar things for that sin. That's how I explain her looking alike. Also, because, like, copycat, she obviously did what she had to do. Part of the reason her sin was committed was for that memory of Alistair, of all the good times they had when they were kids, as twisted and manipulative as they were. So I ended up giving her a more modern use of radios. It actually fits perfectly because Alistair, if you listen to him, he usually is mostly AM, and in my fic I gave him the name Alistair Metrodron. It's a French last name, but it's AM, so when she, in the fic, married him, she became FM, because I think I'm funny. But also, her name, Fionnet, means deer. So in Hell, she's actually known as Fawn, because she didn't want to have to deal with mispronouncing her name. And she's known as, like, the internet/cell phone demon, because she also has this, like, not to the extent of Alistair, of course, but she has control over radio waves. That she uses mostly the cell phone aspect. And I love her, like, story and character design fleshing out at this point, while listening to the Alistair cover of Welcome to the Internet. And there were two ways she could meet Alistair again. Either A, he's infatuated with her and she decides, oh, this is the guy pissing my friends off, I'm gonna troll him. Like playing the Betty Boop by Charlie Puth, where it goes into, like, dubstep trap music, completely, like, trolling him every which way. Or they don't recognize each other at first because demon forms change so much. Granted, hers changes less, just because I thought it was pretty. And I actually made her demon form before I made her human form. Or reverse, he recognizes her and she goes, somewhat, and he goes like, well, isn't she pretty? And she is infatuated with Alistair A because, she likes his voice. Like, he's tall, he has a good voice, he sings, that's her type. And B, he reminds her of the Alistair she knew alive. Neither of them make the connection that Fawn is Alistair's Fia/Doe Eyes, which is a nickname he gave her, because Doe Eyes basically just means very large, round, innocent-looking eyes, and it's a nickname he had for her. So he doesn't realize that Fawn is Fia, and she doesn't realize that Alistair is her Alistair. So they kind of have this, like, mutual, like, I like you, but I'm also waiting for somebody else, until one of them starts talking about their life, and they're just left with this realization that after all this, I found you again, So it's kind of sweet and romantic. But also Alistair's just like, how the hell did you end up down here? And she confesses. So they don't figure out your crime. And that just makes him go like, I found the right bitch for me. It's gonna make more sense when I finally do the big picture one. But also, it's not finished, which is why I had to rush and do this before going to bed today. Yeah, so that's the current look at Fia, if any of that was intelligible. I plan on making more of a script, or at least notes to go off of for the Alistair and Fia relationship. But yeah, she is now a childhood friend of Alistair's that basically followed around and was devoted to him growing up. Had a bit of separation from him in young adulthood, but still was very much devoted to him. And then, after his death, hid his crimes by committing more murders, only to end up in hell. And end up, well, she's like not overlord status yet. She's getting there. She doesn't really ally herself with Fox and stuff. She just hangs around them because when she first arrives at hell, she doesn't really have friends. Because I find it funny for irony like that to happen. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. My mouth is dry, so I'm gonna go chug some water, take my puppy out, then go to bed. And hope you all have a good day. I don't know if the Alistair and Fia video will be up this weekend or if I'll do something else, but I also have been listening to Hazbin Hotel music, so there might be some animations coming, but no guarantee on the animations, because they take a while. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Later!